got a parking spot. I'm outside of the place. It's gonna be great. Can I get the time on here? I can. This is love, guys. I can't look at the time whenever I'm with you. But time flies when I'm with you, so it's fine. Okay, so here's what's going down with Rome. My flight leaves this Friday in 2 days from the Minneapolis airport at 5:45. So I'll probably have to get to the airport at like 3:30, 3:45 because they say to get there at least an hour and a half in advance, especially for international flights. I don't know how complicated that will be. Finding a suitcase has been kind of complicated because I'm going to be flying Air France. It's part of Delta, or Delta handles it, but they have very strict suitcase requirements where your entire suitcase, the length and width and like all around it, the perimeter, I think is what that is, yes, has to be 62 inches, and the industry standard is 63 inches. So most of the suitcases that you might find in, like, I don't know, a luggage store or like a TJ Maxx or somewhere where you go to the like luggage section, most of their suitcases are 63 inches because of like an outside pocket or something. Even the big plastic rubbery kind, that is 63 inches. So you can get it down to 62 inches if you have like nothing, spreading the suitcase out. But I just wanted to err on the side of caution, so we went with like the next size down, which does limit the amount of stuff I can put in the suitcase. But as I said before, my apartment is mostly furnished, so they have all the basic essentials that I will need, like pots and pans and linens, so I don't have to bring any of that. I can just bring my clothes, which I bought with my mom these last couple days, and I feel really prepared. I got new sandals. I got Birkenstocks, and they're very comfortable, and I'm really glad because I was kind of worried. I only had one pair of sandals. Anyone who knows me would know these pair of sandals. I threw them away. I'm done with this pair. They were these gold rubbery foam like reef sandals. I've had them for years. They were the most comfortable sandal. They were nice wedge, and they had a little gold sparkly strap on the top, and I just wore them everywhere. They had chunks out of them. It was just the most disgusting thing. And so I got these Birkenstocks. I got 3 other pairs of shoes. I'm gonna bring all of them. And so yes, I fly out of Minneapolis at 5:45, and I get into Rome, Italy the next day at 10 a.m. So if you're doing that math, it's a 9-hour flight, and I think it's a, let's see, 5 to 5 is 10. It will feel like about 3 a.m. Oh God. It'll feel like about 3 a.m. by the time I get into Rome at 10 a.m. And that is just a time difference that I'm going to have to live with and or adapt to by switching my sleep schedule tonight and tomorrow, and then sleeping on the plane. And then I read on a couple of forums and blogs that you just switch over. Like, you just have to decide, okay, I am in this place, this is my time now. And you just don't think about it too much, and just live. And I think, if anything, college has prepared me for this kind of sleep deprivation, or even just like sleep cycle, because how many finals or tests have forced me to stay up to the wee hours and then, take naps during the day. Like, I am very comfortable napping. In fact, I'll nap any day. You just let me nap. So that'll be my life. When I touch down in Rome, there will be a Paideia member waiting for me. They're going to usher me and the rest of the interns out of there. They're going to drive us to our offices. I think we'll stop for our very first cup of Italian espresso. We'll kind of get a briefing there about what's happening, where we're going, what's going on. I'm going to meet my media team, who I've been meeting with for the last month over Skype/Google Hangouts, and we'll get to talk about what's going on. But we do hit the ground running. That same day is when the high school students who are on their abroad trip which I'm doing media management for, and which my photographers are photographing. That all starts then as well. There will be no rest that first day. We'll get our apartment keys. We'll go check out our apartments. I have 3 roommates. That is the deal. I have no idea who they are. I know their names, and that is it. I haven't even Facebook stalked them. I talked to my media team, and one of the guys was like, oh, so this is who you're with. And I was like, I don't know. And he's like, well, I don't really know him either. And I was like, I like how you guys are stalking them, and I haven't even thought to do this yet. And I think it's just partly that I want Rome to be a surprise. I'm not going into it with any expectations. I was starting to get a little fearful of all the pickpocketing, and like my phone's not going to work, and like my, visa got declined, or it's going to get declined. So I had all these fears going, or like customs is not going to let me, go through with my bag of goji berries. Which now just seems stupid, because it is stupid. But I'm excited. I'm really excited, and I'm not worried at all. I think it's going to be a wonderful time. But I'm going to go to my apartment. I'm going to go see my roommates. I'm going to unpack all my things. And when I'm there, I'm going to get a SIM card. So the way that phones work, I don't know if you know this. I did not at all, because I just had never been to Europe before, and I just didn't know what the deal was. Obviously, American phone carriers don't work in Europe, but AT&T offers a package in Europe to reduce the fees that are normally associated with going to a different country, because they're just exorbitant, though. If I was to do a phone call, even on this passport plan, it would be 50 cents a minute. I was talking about this earlier, yeah. And so the unlimited texting is really the only good part of that plan. I get like 200 megabytes or something of data, which isn't really a lot. Not for how much I use anyway. I'm just a little spoiled brat, which is the theme of these vlogs. So getting a SIM card abroad means that you just take the SIM card out of your phone, or not out of your phone, actually. It has to be a burner phone, or a phone that you can unlock, which means it's one that you own, and it's, this girl's looking at me. And it doesn't really have a SIM card in it, or you take that one out and then you bring it with you, and then you buy a SIM card from a phone carrier in that country, and the rates are 100% lower. You can call people for free, as opposed to $1 a minute, 50 cents a minute. So just incredibly more cost effective, and that's what we'll be doing. So that's all figured out. Let me just check. Oh no, it's only 10 minutes. We're fine. The last thing was security, and I just went to Target yesterday, and I got some outlet converters, which will be great. And I also got a little band that will actually go inside of like my pants. Like it straps, like it's almost like a little what is that called? A fanny pack, but it's very thin. Like it's maybe like a half an inch thick. Has a bunch of pockets on it, and it like has a strap that I think goes under your clothes. Like you just wear it very close to you, so that it can't be taken off. And all the pouches zipper, obviously, and the zippers are protected, so no one's gonna be reaching in and like doing that. So so it's very pickpocket proof, which I was really worried about, because I just keep hearing that from everyone who talks about Rome, that oh yeah, it's great, but also there's a lot of petty crime, which is kind of understandable. It's an old city, and it's not that people are very poor there, but there's a lot of tourists, so I think it's relatively easy to take advantage of that. But not me. And I think we can all relate to that moment you have like in airports or at busy times where you kind of like lose track of your things. Like you look away often, you're kind of trying to figure things out, you're a little disoriented, like you're looking at road signs, like you put your phone down for a second so that you can grab like your water bottle and take a drink. Like I could just see myself doing that and losing all of my things, because I already had my identity stolen from the Vatican. Okay, and here's this story. So the Vatican has a museum, is the thing. Even though my apartment is only a block away, it's helpful to get a ticket to the museum in advance, because then you don't have to wait in these giant lines of hundreds of people who are obviously wanting a ticket to the same museum. They're relatively cheap. They're like $8, $12. well, euros, I guess, which would be more like 15. Because the euro to American dollar conversion is like $1 and like 12 cents. So they're relatively cheap, but it's helpful to avoid the line because obviously, you know, I'm going to be working. I'm not going to have all of the time in the world. I'm going to want to take advantage of as many things as I can. And so I was going to get one in advance, and everybody kept telling me to get it in advance. The issue is that, like, there is no trustworthy Vatican site. They all look super sketchy. And this is true of most of Italy. Italy, things you should know about Italy. Italy does not have dryers. They just hang everything dry, which is great for your clothes, but really weird. Second thing about Italy, all of their internet websites are super sketch. Like, oh my lord. I couldn't even believe that was the Vatican. I mean, maybe it's just the Vatican, although I was looking at other Italian sites for things, like for random, like, store owners and shops around my apartment. All of these websites, if they even had a website, they looked like they were from the early 2000s. We're talking, like, cheesy backdrop with maybe like 2 bits of text just straight on the backdrop, like nothing really to click except when you did click on something, like, you know, it like depresses in, like it's like horribly gradiented. Ugh, it was so weird. So the Vatican had, you know, one of these sketchy sites, and I was like, okay, I hope this is the right one. There's a lot of places to get tickets to the Vatican, and I tried to go directly from their site, and I looked on a couple of forums and like TripAdvisor things, and so like this came from one of those, and I was like, okay, great. And I put in my information, I get all the way past the ticket, and it's like, says it's Wells Fargo verified, and I make the purchase, and immediately my purchase is denied, and I'm like, of course, because I only set my trip advisory for my cards to start on June 3rd, which isn't it? Yeah, it's Friday. That's Friday. That is Friday, when I leave, and so I was like, okay, it got denied. But I think personally that my information was still in that system, and that system was corrupt, because I went to sleep. I was like, crap, I'll just have to call Wells Fargo in the morning and like tell them that it was a real purchase, but you know, whatever. Next morning, I get a text on my phone from Wells Fargo, which is like, 2 purchases were made on your card that seem like suspicious, and like one was for like $100, another one was for like $30 in Brooklyn, New York, which I am not in currently. I have been to Brooklyn. And so I denied them. I talked to Wells Fargo. They shut down my card. They're sending me a new one today. And they said that it was because I swiped somewhere suspicious, but I'm almost entirely sure that it was that sketchy website. Because, like, it just doesn't make sense. The last time I used my card was in Hillsdale, which was like a week ago. And so, the only other time was this really sketchy purchase I made the night before this happened. So, Italy is sketchy. I am protected. Wells Fargo has got my back, but also life is difficult. I'm gonna go meet Jayme though. I have more to say about Italy, but that's basically everything in terms of my immediate itinerary and what's going on. But I will keep you updated. Maybe I'll even show you Jayme, but I will talk to you later. Stay tuned. Invisible world, this is Jayme eating food. This is Punch Pizza. It's a really great, like Napoli pizza place. And this is Jayme Bugelman, a person I grew up with since, like, what, 7th grade?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Like, even earlier than that?
She's gonna be a world famous nurse. Just you wait.
Wow.
And she's like the sweetest person I know. So now you know her. Maybe we'll go do things and you'll see. But